that Kenyans who've stayed here for a very long time, Kenyans who've fallen out of status, who can't even go home when their parents pass away because watakuwa arrested, so opening more consulates. We are considering for the people of the Midwest, so that now you can actually work here and live here legally. With your social security number, with your children, the known and the unknown, wote. Hata furnishing imewekwa, hata jiko imejengwa, hata utapikiwa chapati, ukatumiwa picha, just to get home and find it was your neighbor's house, not yours. Thank you, Balozi, for the very good remarks and the welcome. Thank you, Balozi here. Thank you, Balozi, for keeping this. I didn't come alone. I came with two gentlemen. Came Professor Frederick Iraki, is my advisor, and Patrick Mbithi is, we work with him in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Nairobi. They have not seen water. Water has not hit their bodies since Nairobi. I'm the only one who got to change my shirt. Even the people alitoka Nairobi, so we just decided this is more important for us to come here and talk to you. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy because I decided that I want to come to Seattle. I want to come to this area because this is the area that actually made me. This is where I started work. This is where I studied in Washington State. So why don't I start? I asked myself, why can't I start my diaspora meetings where I started? Yes. And that's why I came to Seattle. Because it's always good in life to have a trajectory and to do things with meaning. And I thought it's good to do it here and start properly. Instead of starting other places, mali hata sikujua, hapa najua Pike Place Market, najua nini, si ndio? Wewe tukiongea na nyinyi naelewa what is going on. And I know Kenyans who live here are very good Kenyans, work very hard. Kenyans who live here are good Kenyans, you know, most of the time. And so I'm happy to see you in large numbers, and it's a weekday. So I'll not be very long. First of all, nyumbani kumeanza kunyesha. Which means two things. One, the grasses are turning green, and it is a season that now when the grass is green, that is the season Wakamba wanauza mashamba. And number two, it means that now some rural roads are impassable. But that is why now we've got the bottom-up approach, where we want to start building our country, not for only the people who live in the cities, the ones at the top. We want to start in the villages, going up the way they did in this country and many other developed countries. So I bring you salam from our President, William 𝐉𝐨𝐢𝐬𝐧 Ruto. He's very keen, and that is why he added the diaspora docket to issues of foreign affairs, because the diaspora plays a very important role in building our country. I was talking to Balozi here, and you know, remittances from the diaspora are our chief foreign earner. Unakumbuka tukiwa tunasoma tulikuwa tunaambiwa kwamba our chief foreign earner used to be tourism. The tourism, kahawa, tea. No. The amount of money we get from the diaspora now is more than what we get from selling tea, coffee, and tourism. Which means that you should have a stake in running the government of Kenya. Because you're contributing to the government of Kenya. You're contributing. And that is why we have this ministry that is looking at the issues of welfare. But we don't want you to just be sending money home. We want you also to be facilitated so that as you live here and sending money home, you live comfortable lives. So that your issues are also addressed in a good way. My advantage is I have lived in the diaspora, but I've also worked in government. Naelewa serikali. When I left here, I went to Kenya, taught, I went to Australia, did my doctorate, I went to the UAE, I went back to Kenya, became the first government spokesman, made Cobra Sport, etc. So I know Kenya vizuri. So I understand. I worked with 𝐉𝐸𝐍. He's the one who told me, wacha kuregarega, toka huko kuja hapa. So you're talking to somebody who understands both lives, working for the government of Kenya, working in the private sector, making money, and also umeelewa? So I understand issues of the diaspora. I understand the government, I understand business. So I'll tell you several things very quickly because it is very late. Number one, as the ambassador has said, the diaspora in the US needs better coverage. And so I am considering, and we are considering, opening more consulates. We are considering for the people of the Midwest, opening a consulate to serve maybe in Chicago or Minnesota to serve the people in the Midwest. We are looking at the South to a place like Dallas or Atlanta, where they can also be served there. They are served in LA by a consul there. We are looking to the West, and that would be Seattle, opening so that we can better serve. One of the biggest issues that are found out are consular issues. Issues of passports, issues of identity cards, issues of birth certificates, getting your documents and all that. Have built homes at home. Na umetumiwa picha na nyumba imejengwa na iko sawa na unatuma pesa, hata furnishing imewekwa, hata jiko imejengwa, hata utapikiwa chapati ukatumiwa picha, just to get home and find it was your neighbor's house, not yours. So we are setting up a system so that now if you are constructing at home, you are dealing with professional architects, you are dealing with people who can actually give you authorization that nyumba imetoka foundation imefika kwa dirisha, with certificates, legally binding, so that when you're sending money to a contractor at home, and you get you contractors who can build for you with your money, it's deposited in Kenya, therefore you don't lose any of your money. The other thing is also, we want to open channels. We know you have bank accounts, but we want you to put your money in Kenya. Weka pesa nyumbani. Hiyo nimeongea kama Kiswahili, put your money in Kenya. Weka money, in other words, deposit your savings in Kenya. Because we are looking at an infrastructure bond, a diaspora bond, whereby you can put your money in Kenya, the government can borrow that money as a bond, and then the government can turn around and build a factory, or build roads, or build airports with your money, and you can go home, you can get, unaweza kwenda unasimamisha gari kwa hiyo highway, unashuka na unakanyaga highway kwa nguvu na raha, kwa sababu unajua pesa yako ndio imejenga hiyo highway ukiwa diaspora. Because if you look at the growth of countries like Singapore, look at China, they are built by direct financing by their diaspora. And I believe that you can be able to build Kenya, and we are going to facilitate you to build Kenya. So consider, we're going to open networks of how to save. Because, unajua, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story, reality. Mko hapa. Mmeishi hapa miaka 20, 30, wengine 15. Mungu akikuita leo, hautaki kuzikwa hapa, unataka kuzikwa nyumbani. Because all along you are living here, but your plan was to retire at home. Sindio? Yeah. So, why can't you be banking and have your saving plan? You take a 4K, 4K. Why can't you have your saving plan at home with a diaspora saving plan? So that instead of investing here, you're investing at home, your savings at home, ukienda nyumbani, your pension will be at home, where money is safe at home in Kenya. Unanipata? Yeah. Makes it easier for you. Unaenda, unapata pesa yako, na your money, it's growing and building the country, which is critical. Education. I know a lot, some of you work here, especially in the medical field. You're a nurse here, you're a doctor, you go home, then there's all these magawadanyo, you have to do, I don't know what, you have to do what, you know. So we're going to make it seamless for you, talk to the board, so that you can quickly transfer your registration, so that you can be able to also move from here, go back home, and be able to work in Kenya. So I'm answering all your questions because the idea is for us to serve you and so that you can be able to live a comfortable life over here. It happens once in a while that a Kenyan gets arrested and gets locked up. One of the things that I'm doing is that people make mistakes. And at times Kenyans are locked up because they can't get any legal aid or legal support. We are opening units in all our embassies and consulates to be able to serve Kenyans. So that when a Kenyan is in trouble, we've got somebody from the embassy, consular services, or not in international service ya serve Kenya wakiwa wameshikwa. It's not consular. Legal services. So we have somebody from the embassy who is visiting the Kenyan, who is trying to get you, so that you can also be taken care of as a Kenyan. Hata kama utaserve your time, we monitor ukitoka, pengine we facilitate urudi nyumbani, ama how you get to that halfway house, how you get assimilated back into society. We don't want a Kenyan getting lost. Because unakuja hapa, unashangaa mataa, unapotea. Unajua kushangaa mataa? Unakuja hapa, umetoka huko, umetoka Kabonzweni, umetoka Kabonzweni Express, unakuja Seattle, umetoka Nyaribari Chache, umetoka Mutuini, umetoka Homa Bay. Unakuja hapa unashangaa mataa, unasema hai 𝐉𝐸𝐻 unachanganyikiwa na maisha, you get into trouble with the law. So we'll be able to assist you so that you can also now live knowing that every life of a Kenyan matters, and that is very important. President Obama introduced the immunity. Unakumbuka? For people who have fallen out of status, people who don't have papers to come in. I am negotiating. I had a conversation with Secretary of State Blinken. We are negotiating with the American government to see how we can get an immunity for Kenyans, so that Kenyans who've stayed here for a very long time, Kenyans who've fallen out of status, who can't even go home when their parents pass away because watakuwa arrested or jailed, so that we can now start a system so that you can now be assimilated and made legal. Umeelewa? Without necessarily having to be deported. So that now you can actually work here and live here legally. With your social security number, with your children, the known and the unknown, wote. Hapa unafanya kazi. Yule jamaa alikuwa ananiangalia na nguvu sana ndio anapata. So that now we can move into that realm. Finally, biashara, business. Kenyans are very industrious. Na tunapenda kufanya biashara. Tunapenda pesa. Pesa mfukoni, si ndio? We like, it's good to have money. And so, we are going to set up also a section of trade and investments in all our embassies and consulates. So that you can be facilitated to trade with Kenya. Import goods from Kenya, because we're going to add value to our goods. So we don't want to be bringing coffee here that is not processed. We want to bring processed coffee. So when Starbucks buys our coffee, it needs to be processed for them. We add value. We want to be bringing products here, made in Kenya, added value. So that those products can be sold at a higher cost. We want you to be able to be facilitated so that you are the one who is doing that biashara on behalf of Kenya. But also you have ideas. You want to invest in Kenya. You want to be able to leave Kenya. You want to be able to go and open a factory. You have friends here who want to go and engage in private-public partnership because you want to use this actor, not Danny DeVito, the other one, Joe Pesci. He had a movie called Other People's Money. They want to go and use other people's money. So you have an idea. You want to build a factory. You want to build a road, dig a dam, get an investor. Akuje, hakuna mambo ya frustration, power lines, akuje, ajenge, tupatie concession, ikuwe ni PPP. They make their money from selling the product they made for Kenya 30-40 years, anatuachia hapo hiyo barabara, anatuachia hapo those power lines, anatuachia hapo hizo dams. So you make your money that way also. So think about it. PPP in those areas. Want to encourage you to come and bring filmmakers. I'm a filmmaker. You know, I was talking to Big Ted about, one filmmakers, one entertainment industry, so that our people can get money. And also, we want more jobs. Mimi nataka Wakenya wanahangaika nyumbani wapate nafasi, wakuje huku wapate kazi. We want Kenyans working here. So we want to work with you. Create opportunities for Kenyans who have degrees, diplomas, Kenyans who would like to come and live here, to come and work in the US. There's nothing wrong. Yeah. Look at how countries like the Philippines have exported their people. You know? And they remit a lot of money. You come, you work here, you finish your job, you go back home. Civil? Yeah. So I want to work with you together. My ministry, our ministry, because it's not mine, it's ours, it's water, is also looking at opportunities for scholarships for young men and women to come and study. So you can come and study here, so they can get the skills and the habits and everything to be able to move around, to move up in life. And many other things. I know it is late. I don't want to talk too much. Nimeanza kusikia na sinzia kidogo hivi kajedla kameanza kuseti. So I think I've covered as many things as possible. The main message is this: Kenya is different. Kenya is different. My political party that I founded is called Maendeleo Chapter. I believe in speedy development. I was able to do a lot of work in Machakos because of the experience that I had by living over here. To transfer the skills in Machakos. Our president, his name, hiyo jina yake hiyo means faster chapter. Yeye ni mtu wa chapter. So unaona amekuwa na meetings nyingi. He is not lazy, he wakes up very early, anaendelea. Na alishinda kura. Kulikuwa na inaitwa big state, inaitwa nini nyingine? Deep state, state capture. Waka state capture, wakatereza, wakashindwa. And we got a lot of votes. After we lost votes. Niwaambie hao. Nitoboe. You know, God decides. The people vote, but God decides who should rule Kenya. And whoever is the president, we say mapenzi wa Mungu. I'm in my office in Machakos. I built an office called the White House, Machakos. And I hear there's somebody amekatalia kwa gate, lazima anione. Lazima mimi naona watu na appointment. Hii mambo ya walk in, walk out, we don't do, we want to be organized. So one of my friends, one of my ministers came and said, amemkuta kwa gate wameongea, I should see these guys from IBC. So it's wacha kuja. Political time wakuja akasema, my name is so and so, I'm in ICT at the IBC. I thought I'd talk to you because in Kenya Kwanza, we have introduced a new system. We are moving from one system to another in ICT, and we were told by somebody, and we've been working 24 hours, we've been migrating people who are registered in the Rift Valley and Mount Kenya, and we've migrated 1 million people to other places. That means mama ambaye polling station yake ni Murang'a, somewhere in Murang'a where Ruto is very popular, she's been moved from Murang'a so that her polling station is now in Turkana. Another one has been moved from Eldoret, her polling station is now Kisumu. So that on the voting day, they will go to vote, they will not be in the system. Already 1 million votes have been suppressed. So I went to a meeting, I told President Ruto, we called a meeting, we sent people to IBC, and we found out it was true. And people were stopped, and we started reversing. But by the time the election came, I think we had only been able to reverse maybe 200,000-300,000. So technically we lost about 700,000 votes. So President Ruto sat us down akasema mahali imefikia ni Mungu, maombi na kuomba kura. Na tukaomba kura. We were holding 21 to 25 rallies a day. We would meet in the morning, divided into 4 teams or 3 teams. Moja inaongozwa na Mudavadi, ingine na Rigathi Gachagua, ingine na Ruto. I was in President Ruto's team. We go 2 helicopters. We go, we do 6 to 7 to 8 rallies at times. We sleep in the bush every day. Azimio were only holding 1 rally a day. Wanasema tukua, wanakuwa na 1 rally, and maybe they are on the way back to the choppers. So they didn't campaign as much. And you saw, I think the only thing you remember from Azimio rally, do you remember anything? Yetu nakumbuka bottom up. Azimio nakumbuka tu haro, Azimio. Hiyo tu haro. You know them, eh?
Of course.
You are there. Yeah. So, and that was it. But you see, competition of politics is not a matter of life and death. It doesn't matter who you vote for. What you want is government services. In countries like the US, governments come and go, but the highways still function. Sindio? The water is still there. Electricity still runs. Kenyans can come and invest like the owner of this place and do well. So we want to get to a place whereby elections are not a matter of life and death. And this is what Kenyans have shown. If you go to Kenya today, when you travel with President Ruto, the places where he's received and cheered more are actually the Azimio strongholds. Because Kenyans have moved on from that myopic political system of just following one way. Kenyans have said we elect a government on policies, you work, you don't work, we elect somebody else. So we need development. So we have never been as united as we are. The last time we united was when Kibaki got in the first term. But now we are back there, we united. And the government of President William Ruto, nikiwa ndani ya serikali yake, nawaambia tutadeliver. Kenya will never be the same again.
That's what we want.
Kenya will never be the same again. We are pouring into the market through the Hustler Fund an initial lot of money, several billion shillings. This end of this month. Pesa itaenda, it'll grow. You know, you have money in circulation makes a big difference. Eh?
Yeah.
So money will be circulating in Kenya, and you will see the change. All these things we're doing in the diaspora, all these things we're doing in every ministry. You know, we're holding cabinets nearly every week, every other week, because we are serious about developing Kenya. We've been left behind, and we're going to move. And also we are looking at climate change. Did you know that Kenya's power sources are basically green? We have geothermal, we have hydro, that's green power, we have wind now, and solar. About 95% of our energy is from green energy, and we'll roll it out so that in a few years' time we'll have 100% energy will all be green. And we've just signed with a company that is going to be using the geothermal to produce green hydrogen, which is a form of energy which will now be selling. We will be exporting green hydrogen together with our coffee and diaspora workers to the West and making money from there. That's the Kenya that we're building for all of us. Ndio watoto wetu wakanyage nchi yetu kwa nguvu na raha, the way our fathers said. So I want to thank you for coming today. I want to thank you for listening to me and to say that you can count on me. I'm one of you. I have lived here, I've tested here, nimekuwa na baridi hapa. I know how it feels. I know the challenges. I'm in the right ministry, and I'll be able to serve you day and night. So thank you very much. Na Mola awabariki. So I will ask for a few interventions. It is now 9 o'clock. I think with purpose we can finish by 9:30. Sindio? Because I know people have to go to work and others. There are people who've been standing for long. Pole sana, when you're standing, but we'll finish by 9:30 so that we just harakisha, sio story nyingi, and then we continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for our Cabinet Secretary. Cabinet Secretary, we already determined some of the questions and interventions. So I'll ask the lady to just read them out, and then if it requires intervention. For those that he has answered, I don't think we need further responses, so that we can save him time. Thank you.